Welcome, welcome to another relaxing devlog. So yes, I'm back with my hobby project, my very retro 2D RPG, and so I'm going to show you actually only one thing that I've implemented, but I'm really proud because actually that thing implied or actually required a few other things to implement. So, if you've been following just a little bit, you might notice already. In the stats, we have strength, dexterity, the usual, but also now we have fire, cold, lightning resistances, and the armor and experience. But that's not implemented. But I've implemented resistances and armor. So substantially, I've implemented the inventory system. So I get an inventory that I can browse through, and I can browse through the inventory and I can equip, unequip items. I can use items as well, potions in this case, and they can be healing potions and they can be resistances. And so I'm going to show you. And so if I press I, inventory, oh, fancy UI. So I'm going to have weapons, armor, potions, scrolls, not implemented, miscellaneous, not implemented. So if I click and select a weapon, oh, I got loads of weapons because actually I gave myself quite a few of weapons. So actually the common stuff is the default weapon, the other are all random. So yes, so let's go through a couple of items, and yeah, the dot means that's been equipped. So as you can see, yes, I've equipped our common staff, and so each item, each weapon has got damage, min and max, a crit chance, a crit multiplier, a scaling, an attribute that is scaling with, and the attack cost, because when in combat it will cost action points. And so the rarity for now is common, uncommon, and rare. With uncommon, so common, just the basic stats. Uncommon, you have 1 affix, in this case, plus 3 strength. And with rare, you get 2. 2 affixes, and 1 is an attribute, and the other one is a damage. So, poison damage, ooh, fancy stuff. And then, yes, in terms of weapons, so I have a staff, I have a pike, I have a hammer, dagger, crossbow, bow, sword. So actually I can use them. So, ooh, I'm using a hammer, and the sprite has changed. Oh, I'm using a bow. Oh, I'm using a sword. And by the way, yes, so, and the stats actually work. So if, okay, let's go back out. So strength is 12 for this character, but then if I select uncommon pike, hopefully, strength is 15. Fancy stuff, fancy stuff. And but then I can also unequip everything, and that's for the weapon. And then I have something similar for the armor. Now the armor won't display anything because for obvious reasons, but you will see the stats changing. And in the same way, so common, uncommon, and rare. And so the slots are head, hands, body, feet, and then the neck for the amulets and rings. And rings are left finger, right finger, and that's it. but also, as you can see, so armor 9, so each piece of armor gives armor as a body slot, and then there's a minimum, I decided to have a minimum strength required. So if you wear something that it's, when you have not enough strength, you won't gain anything. So now I have armor 9. And so if I try this rear hood, it's not working. And armor is still 9. Okay, that's wrong. Okay. No, okay, no, it's fine because the hood is actually in the head, and the robe. No, it's fine. It's good. Okay. Okay. And so no dexterity bonuses, no strength. For rings and amulets, there's no strength requirement, of course. So I can wear a red ring on the right finger, and now my fire and cold resistances have changed. And I think also it was giving dexterity, I think. Yes. And then so now to wear on the other finger, I decided to give it as a control space. So now I've also +3 luck and then fire and cold. So now, ooh, look at that, 45 fire, 56% cold resistance, and luck is 12. So, and then, and then it works, so I cannot remove, so to remove the left ring, I have to do control space again, otherwise it won't work. Uncommon hood, I can wear this, and I'm getting 10 more armor and +1 strength. There it is, and you can see it was 9 before, now it's 10. So now all the values actually are kind of I don't know if they're meaningful or not. I went for some basic values. I have to test it with in combat, so the next thing will be to implement some basic combat and see if all these resistances and +1, +4, dexterity, whatever, and also the damage in the weapons make sense in general. If they're just random numbers, or if they actually work the way they are. And for the armor, the same, common and rare. I might have some uniques or legendaries, but for the moment, let me implement at least these in a meaningful way. Now we have potions as well. And so we have major, minor, and normal potions. So this one gives 30 fire resistance. So I can drink it. And now fire resistance is 72, but it's temporary. And I think at some point it will go away. Now I don't remember how long. Oh, there it is. It went away. So it just lasts a few seconds. Actually, I should have put it in the description. So increases your fire resistance by 30 and for X amount of ticks. And the tick is kind of a second, or in combat will be a combat turn. But I haven't tried that yet, but I've implemented a structure to manage the potions during combat. Same with the lightning, mana, cold resistance, healing potion. Yeah, healing potion. So I'm giving the HP now is not full. It's 34 out of 40. So I can drink a normal healing potion and heal only for 6, because it was only 6 the delta, but it worked. So I've healed 6 HP. fancy stuff, fancy stuff. So scrolls, I haven't got the scrolls, but I've implemented that. And miscellaneous, the same. But yeah, that was, so yeah, to implement the inventory, I had to implement the potions, I had to implement the weapons and the armor and the way it works, and the checks on the strength required, and then at least come up with some initial ranges for armor and how the armor changes based on yes, actually I didn't mention. So the armor is cloth, leather, mail and steel, and you can imagine the strength requirement goes up with each type of with each material, and goes up with rarity. And the armor as well changes if it's, well, the hood or the body or feet, but then changes if it's cloth or mail or plate, and changes if it's common, uncommon or rare. So the common robe is a cloth body armor that's got a 9 armor, but then the rare hood, and that's the helm, the cloth helm is 15, because it's rare, and the uncommon though is 10. And but the armor, so there's a minimum and maximum. So let me see if I can find. So it's not a fixed value, that's what I mean. There's a minimum and maximum that I can't see, I can't show. So not all the uncommon hood will have 10 armor. There's a range. And the same for the other rarities and materials. So yes, this is the fancy stuff that I was working, or that I've been working on. In the time that I have all the time I actually allocate for this. Nothing really special or fancy, but for me is special and fancy because I didn't mention it earlier, but I'm not a programmer, I'm not a developer, I'm just a noobist. I'm just cosplaying as a developer. So let me drink. Oh, fancy stuff. Okay, this one was in the previous video. This is an explosion. Even though I'm using the lava sprite for the explosion. But I was hurt, so I can drink a potion. Oh, I'm healed. Yes, by the way, I haven't implemented. Something that I haven't done, but I will do for the combat. So, if I drink the fire potion, or even regardless, I've got 50% fire resistance, but the fire damage from the explosion or the lava was 100%, so I haven't implemented the damage reduction linked to the resistances. But since my next challenge is to implement the combat system, I will figure out how to do that. So yeah, that's it. Very quick and simple update. The inventory system, it's working. Alright, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you when I've done, I've got something or some combat to show you. Alright, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this Devlog series. let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. Please consider to like and subscribe. That would really help my channel. I'd like to thank all my supporters on Ko-fi and channel members too. And if you want to support me as well, you will find all the useful links and information in the description. And until next time, take care and stay relaxed. Bye bye.